let's talk about You Can Call Me Bill, and it's Happy Birthday to William Shatner. This documentary is now in theaters, and I went to a screening of it at the Regal here in Pasadena, California, and there was some technical difficulty, and we could not see the movie, but I did see the Q&A. I've seen the trailer. Alan, you have seen the film. Tell us about You Can Call Me Bill.
Okay, so we're clear. I saw it a year ago, so we're working on a little bit of memory here. But yeah, it's a documentary about Bill Shatner, stars Bill Shatner, William Shatner, and there's a lot of shat in it. I will tell you that, and it's packed with shat. And I will say this: this is an atypical documentary about a person. It's very, like I said, we talked about Bill Shatner. He's very thoughtful. He's very philosophical about life. And this movie presents him that way. It opens with images of a tree, and he likens his life and his career to that of a tree. And not to spoil the ending, but he hopes to one day be buried underneath a tree. And the movie talks about his life, talks about his career. There's a lot of discussion about Star Trek and what Star Trek meant to him, and then life after Star Trek. This is a very, I will say this: it's a documentary, an autobiographical documentary, shot in a way that you've never seen before, in the sense of there's no real timeline going on here, but it's just kind of William Shatner sitting back and talking about his life, his career, growing up Jewish, getting on Star Trek, becoming an actor, and what acting has meant to him, his post Star Trek life, and the roles he has taken, and then ultimately he goes to space, and he gets very philosophical about ultimately finally going into outer space and seeing the world the way his character saw it from the Enterprise. So it's very different. I think the reason I couch it that way is because you may expect something different or something more traditional in the way the story is told. It's, doesn't necessarily start at the beginning of his life and go to the end, but he just kind of takes themes of his life and talks about that. And so I very much enjoyed it. I admire the man. I've admired him for a very long time. And, this is very, you're going to feel very familiar with him with this. You're going to get to know him a lot better. And I think that's what the goal is. But if you're looking for I grew up in such and such a year in this place, and, you're not going to get that kind of a documentary.
Well, you can read, there are two really good books that Shatner wrote about his life. And they did, he did a sequel to it, which was really good. I read them like back when they first came out. So he's if you want that, read his books. If you want to get the timeline of his life, you can read those. But this documentary was very different. It was very different from what I can see, but I only saw the Q&A. The Q&A was very good. It was really good. So
yeah.
I want to point out also that, so I haven't seen the movie, but I did see the Q&A from the documentary. But I want to point out that this is from a company called Legion M. And Legion M, we keep talking about, hey, someone should just start a company and do stuff. This is what Legion M does. Okay, so they're a company that you can actually invest in movies. And what they do is, you go to legionm.com. I know the guys from Legion M. They literally say, hey, would you like a movie like this? And then I'm going to go to their projects page. There's all these different slate of projects. And you say, oh, I like that movie. I'd like to see it get made. And you can give money towards the movie. Then you become an investor, a shareholder. And then you're invited to screenings. You're invited to parties and events related to the film that you've invested in. They're responsible for movies like Mandy with Nicolas Cage. So they've done a lot. I mean, their company, it's not like Angel Studios. It's just different in the sense that they do a lot of the stuff they do is very genre based. So they're doing a lot of genre films. They were involved in with Kevin Smith. They were involved in the documentary, which was also Alexander Philippe, who we've interviewed on the show about Alien. If you've seen that one, Memory, the origins of Alien. So they were involved in getting that film released. So Legion M is just doing a lot. It's like they're basically doing what, like, hey, we should just start our own company and make movies. Legion M did it and found a way to do it. Their movies are low budget. They're in the multi-million, but not tens of millions. But Mandy was fantastic. And I
should also mention, unlike Kickstarter and Indiegogo, look, from what I've read, because I was seriously thinking about investing in this one, there is a return on your investment. You can actually make money doing this. Legion M and Shatner take a small percentage of the take, but after a certain amount has been earned from distribution and theatrical, percentages are then laid out to the investors. So you can actually make money investing it. But to consult a professional. This is not legal.
It's not legal advice. Consult a professional. But I like philosophically what Legion M is doing. And when you look at the kinds of movies they make, they're not particularly, political in any way. And they mostly are in the realm of genre, sci-fi, horror, documentaries. But their documentaries are pop culture documentaries. I even talked to them about Attack of the Doc. In terms of release, I went a different direction. But we had a conversation if it would make sense on their release plans. So there you go. So that's interesting. This is and the book I was thinking about, I have both copies of it. It's Star Trek Memories. Look up. That is, to me, I read that book back when it first came out. But Star Trek Memories is the name of the book, and there is a sequel to that book. It's really just Shatner telling stories. And it's and there you go. So check that out. I did film the Q&A. I'm just gonna post it for members only. So if you're a member of the channel, check it out later today. I'm gonna post. I got a couple things to post. So look at the videos in our members only section, and thank you to our members. Now let's go to your comments real quick from Ellis24 on Rumble. There is an AI if you want to chat with Bill Shatner. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
What's the point of that? You talk to the AI.
Okay. All right. I'm going to present this. Okay. The link will be in the description for this episode. Here is Shatner.
Oh, okay.
And you can talk to him.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah. What do I do here?
That's a bit creepy.
Hey, Bill. Happy birthday.
Well, that stumps me. I'm stumped.
Oh my God. Hilarious. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay.
Yeah, you got to mute yourself when he answers.
Oh, well, you do that. Can you do that, Alan?
Okay.
Well, I keep saying I need help. I don't want to get inged again. Hey, Bill, what is your favorite episode of Star Trek?
Probably my favorite is City on the Edge of Forever with Joan Collins. She's a lovely actress and a lovely lady, and the theme is important.
Okay, Spock or McCoy? Choose one.
I really can't remember. We must have met on the set. Apparently, we did an hour show of something together, but our paths never crossed. So we must have met at a Star Trek first moment on the set. What I do remember was maybe the first shows, couldn't have been many after that, when Spock was supposed to knock somebody out. And Leonard said, I haven't thought of that. My character wouldn't do that. So what would your character do? He says, well, I don't know. Turn around, Bill. So I turned around and he pinched me on the shoulder and I fell to the ground. And the Spock pinch. That's what I would do. So it became the Spock pinch because his character wouldn't knock anybody out. It was wonderful. It's a wonderful actor thing. He knows his character so well that the character wouldn't do that. So you got to invent something the character would do, and it comes out so, so typical and beautiful. But he was tall and, and deep voice, and acting teacher, and he was wonderful.
He didn't answer.
All right. Okay. Last question. Captain Kirk is a ladies' man. How do you feel about green women?
I'm watching you ask this question, and you're going, how much? Like a swagger. Hey, he swaggers around. Well, I guess I swagger.
That's what can you say?
All right.
Okay. We'll put a link in the description there, but hey, AI Kirk, I'll take it. That's awesome.
We finally had William Shatner on the show.
Yeah. So you recommend You Can Call Me Bill. It's playing in limited release.
Yeah, I do. You like I said, you're not going to get the traditional documentary here, but you will get William Shatner. Definitely.